Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer. By the Georgia Lottery. Get a nice hit of cash with a new hit family of scratchers from the Georgia Lottery. And by Rooms to Go. Shop a huge selection of beautiful rooms, all $999 or less.
This is the middle game of 3 versus the Tigers. Atlanta took game 1 by a score of 5-2 behind some pretty good pitching. It continues to impress every single day. Peter Moyle and Nick Green out here in the Battery with you guys. And Peter, the pitching staff's been really good throughout the course of this season.
Yes.
I know we look up and down the roster and say, okay, the starting pitching's been great in certain spots. They've been pretty good overall as well. The bullpen's been awesome as well. And when you think about these games, the Braves are winning. They're 21-9 on the season. You have to have a good bullpen, and you have to have different guys produce at different times. We saw it last night.
We sure did. It was a perfect case last night. We saw Didier Fuentes come in for the first time out of the bullpen, and I thought he was really impressive. Obviously, the fastball stuff is there. He showed really good breaking ball against right-handed hitters. I think this could be a weapon moving forward for that extended late inning reliever, if that makes sense. And then Tyler Kinley coming in and being able to get a big punch out against a left-handed hitter. We heard in the postgame Walt talk about the fact that he came in and appreciated the fact that Walt let him face that left-handed as well.
Yeah, this is the focus of our Comcast business, defend the mound. NL ranks this season, Braves
pretty good.
91.7% save percentage, first in Major League Baseball, 3.19 ERA, third. Strikeout to walk ratio is very important. The whip's important as well. It's just been a collective effort for this group. And by the way, Raisel Iglesias is not in that bullpen right now, but we want to make one note. Dylan Lee, who went on paternity leave, is back today. He was activated off paternity leave, and Carlos Carrasco was designated for assignment. Well, enough pitching talk. Peter, we got to talk about the offense. Who better to talk about it than Wiley Ballard? Ronald Acuna Jr. is starting to heat up. Wiley will have more on that next.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Destin Fort Walton Beach, Florida. By Chevrolet, proud partner of the Atlanta Braves. And by Xfinity, reliable Wi-Fi at one price. Xfinity, imagine that.
It is a splendid Wednesday night at Truist Park as we get you set for Game 2 of our Interleague Series. The Braves hosting the Tigers, looking to secure the series after a win last night. And one of the stories last night, beyond the pitching of Martin Perez, was the work of Ronald Acuna Jr. Had a couple of doubles. And for Ronald, he is beginning to heat up over the course of this homestand. But he's been showing signs of offensive promise throughout the year. Take a look at our Home Depot working on a win. You see the OPS. I know that's not in Ronald's territory, but it is 10% above league average. You look at the expected slugging, over 500. And how about there at the bottom, what he has done so far in this homestand, using his speed from the batter's box and on the base pass. And I had a chance to catch up with Eddie Perez earlier this week, and he mentioned how Ronald, again, hasn't quite hit his stride offensively, but it's now his 9th season in the big leagues, and Eddie was impressed the way Ronald is handling it. He's still getting on base, highest walk rate on the team, and he's finding a way to contribute defensively. So the bottom line is the Braves, with the best record in baseball, Ronald contributing in a variety of ways, and just wait until his bat gets going. This Braves offense already #1 in baseball in runs per game, and it can only get better when the former MVP finds his stride at the plate, and there are good signs that that is close to happening. Speaking of close to happening, we've got first pitch next. J.R. Ritchie, the kid, making his first ever home start in front of Braves country at Truist Park. He toes the rubber when we come back.
League debut here, and he goes to the changeup to get his first big league strikeout.
The imposing Tarek Skubal.
Beat him in with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Painted on the outside corner.
It's no ordinary lefty, though.
Good night, sweetheart.
That is in there. Another serving of frozen pizza.
Struck him out, a fastball to the attic.
We can do a pretty nice debut here. Fifth punch out of the afternoon.
Took it for strike 3. That is surgery.
Make it 7 strikeouts in the debut now of J.R. Ritchie. A great, intriguing pitching matchup on a Wednesday night here at Truist Park for Game 2 of this series between the Detroit Tigers and the Atlanta Braves. On the one side, you have Tarek Skubal, who has won the Cy Young in back-to-back seasons in the American League. Everybody knows what he brings to the table. On the other side, who is J.R. Ritchie? He announced his presence to Major League Baseball in an interesting way that first game in D.C., giving up a homer on pitch number 1. He bounced back and had a great outing, 7 innings strong in a win against the Nationals. And now Jeff Francoeur, for the first time, he stands in the center of the diamond here at Truist Park.
He showed that highlight of his mom laughing after that home run a little bit, and I just kind of got a kick because it's like you dream about that moment, you give the home run, but the way he settled down and pitched after that was outstanding. And I think, look, sometimes it's great. You're facing a guy like Tarik Skubal on the other side. No one's expecting you to go toe-to-toe with him. Sometimes that's when you see the best come out of these young pitchers like this. And his curveball was really good in Washington. So I think that's going to be something to keep an eye on.
And the lineup that he is going to be facing is presented by Racetrack. It'll be rookie on rookie to start with Ritchie and McGonigal. And then Torres and Keith, the first 3 in the order for A.J. Hinch's Detroit Tigers, who come in at 500 overall and tied for first with Cleveland in the AL Central. Frenchie, your Ford keys, sir.
Well, let's see, no fear. He pitched like it in D.C. You'd like to see the same night, even though you're going against Skubal. He's got the stuff to play at this level. Let it go out there. And look, Skubal's going to be a tough ride. There's no doubt about it. He's one of the best in the game. One little thing that he has struggled with this year is third time through the lineup. So 148 average first time, 180, and that jumps to 433. Now, I think that's going to change as the year goes on. But again, maybe you're getting him at the right time in April here where he hadn't got going yet.
It'll be just the second time Skubal has faced the Braves in his career. J.R. Ritchie gets ready to rock and roll. His ritual of kneeling down behind the back of the diamond, putting that ball cap on. And the first time the folks here in Atlanta get to see this right-hander pitch at Truist Park.
Is this a fastball down the middle, or you think this one's going to be?
I think he might stay outside the zone.
Run it outside?
He said that he knew Wood was going to be swinging first pitch. He meant to leave the fastball outside. Probably like that.
There you go.
But he left it over the middle, and Wood hit that home run. And then after the game, he also said, you know, my dad, who Wiley interviewed during the game, Ian Ritchie Sr., said it's how you respond to adversity. And boy, did he respond to that adversity in that first game of his big league career.
We talked about it, and Walt was talking about the other day. Sometimes it's not the worst thing, right? All of a sudden you take a deep breath and you're like, well, there it goes. I've given up my first run, my first home run, everything. So now just relax and pitch. And not only see a lot of young guys come up and it's 5 1/3. I mean, he gave you 7 innings.
And did it pretty efficiently under 90 pitches. That was close. No challenge, though, here in the first at bat of the ball game. Will Little is back there calling the balls and strikes tonight. This is a fun matchup to start, though. You got 2 young guys that are really good. 22-year-old J.R. Ritchie and then the 21-year-old Kevin McGonigal.
Boy, he put it some good ABs last night, didn't he?
He's a tough out. That's always been his track record before getting to the big leagues.
Yeah, I was saying, you know, you pay a guy $150 million and he's played 2.5 weeks in the big leagues. You better be sure. And I think they did a good move from what I've seen here. And you got to believe his power is going to come as he gets older.
Saw that note. He's reached a 25 straight, longest by a Tigers rookie since 1980. And here he is again. This is what he does. He battles.
3-2 counts he had last night during the game.
And he singled in the 8th to get his hit streak to 12 games. He lays off the 96-mile-per-hour heater. Full count. Another one here tonight for McGonigal. Ritchie with a payoff. Soft liner. There's Ozzie Albies. In the battle of rookies, this one goes to Ritchie. So you got Ozzie at second. Let's take a look at the rest of the Braves racetrack defense. Dubon back at short. Jonah Heim is getting the start tonight behind the dish. Drake Baldwin is still playing. He's just going to DH.
Drake Baldwin's not getting days off. You get days off behind the dish, but you're hitting, son.
Well, what a luxury, right?
Oh.
And then you get Sean Murphy back soon, and we'll see what happens with Jonah Heim. But bottom line is the Braves are in a good spot with that catcher position.
I think you're going to have to carry 3 catchers. I mean, you're going to have a catcher DH as much as he's going to when he's not.
Just as a safety net.
You have to.
Yeah.
If he's got to come in the game, you lose that DH.
And then we'll see what happens when the Braves also get Ha-Seong Kim back. He started his rehab assignment today. Gleyber Torres the batter, and he fouls away the fastball at 97. Richie thought he had it, but it's a little up. He had 7 strikeouts in his big league debut last Thursday in D.C. So back-to-back full counts to start here for J.R. Ritchie. And he walks the veteran Gleyber Torres.
Wasn't missing by a lot. 1-2, 2-2, and 3-2, but just off. Smart not to challenge any of those because they would have lost them. With the Braves, I think by the 4th inning last night, we're out of challenge.
Which has happened a few times this year.
It's pretty.
Bouncer to the right side. It's going to get through. Torres will stop wisely at second. Acuna joking with him, saying, go ahead, go to third. Those guys know each other well. Torres and Acuna, both 29 years old, both from Venezuela.
He's telling them go. It's one of those that he didn't hit hard, but just found the right spot.
Found the right spot. Acuna 28, by the way. Torres a year older. I didn't mean to age you, Ronald. But those guys both from Venezuela know each other extremely well. So some first inning adversity here for Ritchie as he faces Riley Green. Riley's been an all-star each of the last 2 seasons.
That's what was so impressive last night was that this Tigers team had been heating up offensively, and granted, I think anybody who touched a bat in their series in Cincinnati this past week and the ball went out of the park.
Yeah, they started slow. They've been heating up. Ritchie is able to cool down Riley Green with a changeup. First strikeout tonight for J.R. Ritchie.
Man, good job there. First pitch breaking ball, landed it, came back. A couple really good changeups. And some great depth coming in the zone and then sliding to the bottom part. Tough to lay off when it's 2 strikes.
So he gets the cleanup man Green, and now here is Dingler, the catcher. You think about for J.R. Ritchie the story from last year, beginning at single A all the way to triple A. But at this time last year he was pitching in single A, and now he's making a second big league start. And we hear more of those stories, Frenchie. Guys are getting elevated quicker, but what a whirlwind 365 days.
Yeah, no doubt. And we're seeing, I think you just made a great point, because of the stress to win at this level, and we've already seen 2 managers fired this year. You just see these younger guys get pushed, and some aren't ready. Some get up here and stick.
And the Braves feel Ritchie can stick. Now he got a called strike there that looked a little up. 1-2.
I'm surprised Dingler didn't challenge that one. Being a catcher, he's 14 of 16 on the year.
Yeah, one of the best, and he had a couple successful challenges last night. And that moment for J.R. Ritchie when he found out he was going to the big leagues, it was the night before his start when he was doing dishes with his fiancee McKenna. 8 at night, he had to run to Atlanta Hartsfield, hop on the plane, get to D.C., slept just a few hours, and got up and pitched in a matinee and pitched a beauty. Called strike.
Oh, he's going to challenge that one now.
And I think that one caught the zone.
Yeah.
This ABS challenge, yes, powered by T-Mobile. And a little frozen pizza for Dingler.
Sweep the leg.
Back-to-back strikeouts. He got Green swinging on the changeup. Little high heat for Dingler. No damage by the Tigers at the top of the first. Couple of base runners at the top of the first. No damage done against J.R. Ritchie. Ronald Acuna, top of the racetrack lineup for the Atlanta Braves. Again, Baldwin still batting second, but he's the DH tonight. And a tough one on the mound, that is for sure. Won the Cy Young each of the last 2 seasons in the American League. Tarik Skubal gets the ball tonight.
Do I need to even say much?
Well, you can say what you said earlier, which is he struggled the third time through the order.
Okay.
See if the Braves can get to him a little bit earlier than other teams have been able to.
He's got that funky delivery and continues to come at you with that fastball. He can sink it a little bit. Of course, really good changeup off that.
I mean, that changeup that he has, didn't throw it there, but it's about as good as there is in the game.
And he's got that slider. And that's the thing, all 3 pitches come out of that tunnel. Same tunnel for him. There it is. That's the changeup that he throws off that fastball to righties, as good as any lefty in the game.
And Ronald fights off 97. The delivery, Frenchie, as a hitter, does that throw you off at all?
Oh yeah, I've talked to plenty of hitters, you know, when they're talking about facing it, it's very quick, right? So not only does he throw hard, but he gets going and it comes, and it even plays up another 2-3 miles per hour because of it. Kind of rushes you, and then he's got such control of that changeup.
There's the changeup again. 1-2. Ronald had a good game yesterday with a pair of doubles. Both of those numbers the best in Tigers franchise history. Pretty impressive for Skubal. And Will Little says that was tipped off of Ronald's bat for a strikeout.
Ronald did not argue, so. Did you see?
No, that's. Huh. Ronald, you're right, though. He didn't put up a fight. Baldwin puts up a fight and slaps it the other way. And Baldwin with a 1-out single.
You know, I wonder, watching Drake just day in and day out, right? We get spoiled, but from a national level, I just don't know a lot of people know how good he is. He's got that ability to do that as good as any left-handed hitter in the game. And at such a young age.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is a lot of the guys that I remember, Frenchie, from era when you and I were younger, you watch, you think of guys like Tony Gwynn.
Yep.
But those guys, it took them time to develop, spraying it to all parts. Yeah. And he just seems to do it naturally. Ozzie had a homer yesterday.
Got a hanging changeup on that pitch from Holton yesterday.
It was a 2-run homer in the 8th, and that would give the Braves a little insurance. A deep drive again
This was a fastball right here, and you know what's funny is Ozzy's not like most right-handed hitters. If you watch Ozzy hit, he's swing mode all the time from this side. He has such ability to see it and shut down. And I think Skubal thought he was going to be able to get that ball in, and Ozzy just got the head out on that one. 96 fastball and turned on it.
What a start for Atlanta. It's one thing to hit a homer 3 batters in. It's another to do it against Tarik Skubal.
Again, what an awful pitch. It was a fastball coming in, but Ozzy beat him to the spot. You can see where the little ball was on the strike zone. It was right on the line in. Just a great piece of hitting.
Just the second homer that Skubal has given up this year in his 7th start. He is so hard to do that against. But the Braves jump on him here in inning number 1. What a turnaround for Ozzy Albies from some of the struggles he had last year.
To think, if you remember, towards the end of the season, there was real talk. Do you pick up his option? And let's say this: it was a $7 million option with a $4 million buyout. You're talking $3 million.
I would say he has made the investment worth it.
I think it was smart, and I think to Ozzy's credit, right? A lot of times you bet on the person. I think everybody in there knows his work ethic, how much he cares, and it just didn't happen for him. Got better as the season went on in the second half, but whatever he did this offseason, I would say start doing that again.
He went fishing in Curacao.
Then
that was
good.
part of it.
Good. Go enjoy those rays down there.
Matt Olson battling here, working it to a full count. Payoff from Skubal. Pop back and out of play.
Well, and that's the thing for A.J. Hinch. I'm sure he was thinking, man, you had Mize versus Perez yesterday. Love your pitching matchup, right? Today, you know, J.R. Ritchie's got good stuff. Still, you got Skubal. And then tomorrow with Valdez. But I'm telling you, this offense right now, the way they're locked in and swinging the bats.
It's very similar to 2023.
It is. I mean, and you have a lot of the same guys, so they're doing it again.
Diving stop by Keith. Really nice play. You tip your cap. That saved a single. So you know Colt Keith is at third base. Here's the rest of the Tigers defense, brought to you by Racetrack. Javier Baez, he went on the IL today. That right ankle injury yesterday, they called it a severe sprain. There's no timeline for his return. So that puts Perez out in center tonight for Detroit. Frenchie, I was worried and you were working the game for TBS, when I saw that for Baez. I thought maybe he dislocated that ankle.
Yeah, we thought the fibula, tibula down there, but
it's not good news, but it's better than it could have been.
They're already missing Parco Meadows till at least July.
Check down. Riley did not go. And their starter, Casey Mize.
Skubal just telling, who's that, Roberto Ortiz?
Over there at first base,
yeah. He just told him, watch. Did you see that?
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
It's not ways to get calls. See, take a look here. Watch, he tells them.
And not very happy. But he does bounce back here to strike out Riley at end the first. But Ozzy Albies with a 2-run blast to left to get Atlanta started tonight against the 2-time Cy Young winner Tarik Skubal. It is time for a Kia Field report. Let's go down and welcome in Wiley Ballard.
Well, you guys have talked about that first pitch homer that J.R. Ritchie gave up to James Wood in his debut last week, and we're going to stop talking about it at some point, but it was quite a moment. Take a look at this exchange on 680 The Fan's Instagram page. McKenna Miller, that is J.R.'s fiance, and J.R. went on the radio and said, my fiance wanted the home run ball so she can make sure I see it every day. And McKenna called him out on social media, and that got some pretty good play. And J.R. Ritchie said, hey, look, I need somebody to hold me accountable, and he's going to lean on McKenna to do that. So, guys, clearly these two, big part of JR's success. He's getting a lot of credit to McKenna, and I think they're a pretty good combo.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah, call him out, dude. Let him know. Put that right there so when he wakes up at 3 in the morning and take a leak, he looks at it right there and knows I got to be better.
Put some playful banter from your future spouse. That's good stuff. Wiley interviewed her along with the parents during the debut in D.C., and she had a presence about her. It just seems like they have a great relationship.
I guess he's probably young enough. He doesn't take a leak at 3 a.m.
No, that's you and me.
Yeah, that's what
It's 3, then it's 4, then it's 5. It's like, all right, I'll just get up now.
I'll go get coffee.
Fine. Wiley, do you have anything to add? Are you a urologist? Can you help us out?
No, I just appreciate you guys giving me a preview of what I can look forward to.
Oh, okay.
No, what I was going to add was Braves did get that ball back, by the way. An Ozzie Albies signed ball was what they traded for it. So give Ozzie a little bit of a hat tip there, too.
Nice.
And give Ritchie a hat tip. He's got 3 straight strikeouts now as he gets Carpenter.
Just beats him to the top of the zone. You can see that ball kind of keep rising a little bit. 95, not going to be able to catch up with that.
So he struck out Green, then Dingler to end the first. Now Carpenter to start the second. And here is Torkelson. Torkelson had that streak of homers in 5 straight games, but that ended yesterday when he went 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Slowly to Dubon. 2 down.
And you'd like to see him have a nice quick inning here if you can. No, he was able to get out of it in the first, had to throw quite a few pitches.
He had 3 3-2 counts to start that first inning, so he is at 31 pitches now. '22-year-old righty from Seattle, Washington, as Perez shows bunt. It almost hit him.
Brian Anderson last night had the great announcer's jinx, reading that the Braves would have their 5th shutout last night and tie the MLB record. In the next pitch, this man right here went in Chattahoochee Falls.
He hit it right over the 400-yard marker in center field, or feet marker. Oh, he slaps it. And he's going to head for second base here and have a double. So he spoiled the shutout yesterday and somehow gets that to stay fair down the third base line for a double.
I mean, he truly stopped this swing. Look at that. I mean, there's nothing. Hits the chalk and then just stays right on that line.
So Perez is living right here in Atlanta. Now Jace Young, who they just called up today to replace Javi Baez when he went on the IL.
A lot of people in Detroit were hoping that young dude Max Clark would be called up. Gonical seeing what he's done, hoping, but they keep saying he's not ready.
They assume it will be at some point this year. They just want to see a little more time for Clark in AAA. This guy Jace Young, not a whole lot of time at the big league level, 55 games over the last 2 years, and he has struggled at the plate during his time at this level, hitting just a .190.
I think that's the thing, right? You're always, as a young hitter, okay, you get the experience, you go back down. What are you going to do to make sure when you get up next time you succeed? And I just tell people the hardest thing when you go down there is you just don't see the quality of pitching, of course, that you're going to see here. And so, you know, while you might get it going down there, you're not seeing 3+ pitches from most guys. You might see velocity, which they all hit now.
And Young is going to get a walk here to put 2 men on with 2 outs. Spencer Strider, by the way, the announcement today is that he is expected to make his season debut Sunday against Colorado. And Frenchie, the numbers were good, but maybe more importantly, the fastball had really good life during his rehab starts.
Well, if you're just sitting here watching Skubal tonight, he's sitting 95, 96, you know, and same thing with Strider down there. So, look, everything, all the reports were great. They said his arm feels good.
Softly out to right center. It falls. Perez is going to come home. So a 2-out rally here for the Tigers to get on the board in the second. RBI single for McGonigal.
Well, good job taking advantage right there. You got a guy who just walked the 9-hole hitter. And you could tell looking for something early over the plate. Wasn't a horrible pitch. He just got it off the end. But I'm always thinking with Strider, right? Man, first start in Coors Field.
Not easy.
No.
Now, not the most powerful lineup, but,
no, but
when you're
still,
pitching out there,
still Coors Field.
It is. The ball will fly. So tying run at third. A strike to Torres. Torres walked last inning. 0-1 from Richie. And he gets 95 by him. 0-2. What do you like here, Frenchie?
Man, hey, they're like climbing up a little bit more, working it off the plate. You know, and Torres sometimes has that ability to chase that slider outside the zone or a good curveball away. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's not where he wanted that, right? He had to get that up.
There's some guys, look, they're not going to expand. Gleyber Torres will chase a little bit if he's down in the count like this.
Good pitch there, and it's fouled off at home plate. Will Little doing some housekeeping there at home plate. It's a good crew. You had Alan Porter yesterday, very experienced guy who's worked in the World Series last year. Same with Will Little. He was in the World Series last year with that crew, was the home plate umpire for Game 1 of Toronto and Los Angeles. Oh, it gets by Olsen, and that's going to tie the game. Young comes home, and just like that, it's 2-2. So it's going to be an error on J.R. Ritchie, Frenchie.
Yeah, and that's one of those that I don't know whose call that was, but I just always, you got the hitter 0-2 right there. Go get your guy. Don't even take a chance. And of course, that's going to happen, right?
He accidentally rolls it to Olsen, and that retires the side. So we are all even at 2 in the middle of inning 2.
Yesterday was National School Bus Driver Appreciation Day, and your Atlanta Braves have teamed up with the Bluebird to celebrate school bus drivers all this week. Students were able to nominate their exceptional bus drivers, and the first 100 submissions were sent a Blooper and Bluebird school bus lunchbox and a prize pack to share with the bus driver. The Braves and Bluebird are proud to support school bus drivers every day across Braves country. For me, Ron, my kid's bus driver, thank you very much. Captain Ron.
Good job, Frenchie.
Yeah.
Hey, that video, by the way, on that day, Wiley went and taught the kids how to keep score. So good job to Wiley.
I know Wiley didn't get on a bus.
No, no. Wouldn't want to see him behind the wheel of a big blue bird. Smoking off the bat of Dubon. Good pick it short by McGonigal.
That was 104 off the bat right there.
Michael Harris coming to the plate. He's our Georgia Natural Gas Greener Life impact player. Off to a tremendous start this year. You look at the major league leaders in expected slugging percentage, and he's fourth behind some really good names.
I was going to say, look at those three names. We'll take that.
Alvarez is having a tremendous year for Houston, and obviously Trout and Judge need no introduction. Bouncer to second here for Harris. 2 away.
That was a funny thing. I had a chance to catch up with A.J. Hinch yesterday, the Tigers manager, and he was talking about what makes this Braves team dynamic, and he mentioned Drake Baldwin, Matt Olson, Michael Harris right there. They can hit lefties, so that's not an issue, and it takes away some of the mix and match you try to do as a manager. And think about just tonight, Drake Baldwin a hit off Skubal, Olson crushed one. So I mean, that's why this lineup to me can be so deep and do so many things.
Yeah, CJ and I were talking about that the other day, Frenchie. You can't really go to your bullpen and play matchups with this Braves lineup.
No, and as A.J. Hinch said, today he put Albies there in front of Olson. We've seen many games where he's gone Baldwin, Olson, and just kept it. And he's not scared to run out 2 lefties in a row.
And the production from the 7, 8, 9 spots in the order has been as good as any team in baseball. Tonight it's Eli White batting 8th. Skubal threw 23 pitches in that first inning, gave up the homer to Ozzie. He's looking for a quick second. White liner to right, but it will hang up for Carpenter. So just 10 pitches in the second inning for the southpaw. The third inning is brought to you by Audi. Experience the all-new Audi Q3 at your local Atlanta area Audi dealer. Brandon Gaunt, Jeff Francoeur, Wiley Ballard here on a Wednesday night. First pitch of the third, hit pretty deep out to left center. Who wants it? It'll be Eli White. And Colt Keith is 1 for 2 for Detroit.
Yeah, you see Colt Keith wasting no time. Swung a first pitch both times.
I know it's different based on the pitcher, Frenchie, but when you would face a guy like Richie, who's only making his second big league start, did that make you attack that pitcher any differently?
And a little bit. Sometimes I think that first time through you would try to maybe be a little more patient just so you could see at least 2 or 3 of his pitches. But also now it's changed so much. I mean, the info and what all these hitters have. Like a guy comes up from the minor, there's no more hiding.
Right. The scouting report is the scouting report. But it's also different that first time you stand in there and see him live.
Oh, for sure. And that's why, you know, especially for JR, as he keeps going through, seeing different teams, you know, the adjustments they make to him, it's going to be back and forth.
Green gives it a ride deep to center, and it's gone. Riley Green putting Detroit on top in the third.
That's a perfect example right there, Brandon. If you go back to his first at bat, he got him on 2 changeups in a row to strike him out. He comes back with that one, and granted, that one was hung more. But you can see a good hitter like Riley Green, obviously you could tell was almost sitting all over that pitch.
Green led the Tigers last year with 36 home runs. That's his 4th here in 2026.
Got a challenge coming.
Here we go.
The catcher is challenging the pitch.
Jonah Heim back there tonight. And the Braves and Tigers now down to 1.
Has 1 challenge remaining.
I think it's going to be interesting as the year goes on, right? Like, first pitch of an AB right there, and you know, maybe if that's a 1-2 count and you're looking for that punch out.
Yeah, you've got to feel really confident in these spots.
And it hasn't come back to bite us yet, but you worry as you get going through the season, right? Like you need one challenge in that 7th, 8th inning for a spot where you got a couple runners on either way, offensively or defensively. We're not allowing ourselves to get there.
As we mentioned on the other side, this guy Dingler has been really good at challenging for the Detroit Tigers.
Although he lost one tonight.
He did.
He was 14 of 16, so he's
percentage is down
a little bit.
That one's in there, full count.
Kind of looked like he was in take mode all the way there, didn't he, on that 3-1 pitch?
Harris backing up a couple of steps, pauses, and makes the catch. 2 down. Here's a quick message right now from Truist.
Leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist. Learn how knowledge and care can work for you.
So J.R. Ritchie gave up 2 in the second, the homer here to Green in the third. Now he deals to Kerry Carpenter. J.R. Ritchie, the Braves' #2 prospect, 22 years old, 35th overall pick back in 2022, and then he had that Tommy John surgery in 23, so not a ton of time in the minors. And we mentioned last year climbing from single A to triple A, and now making his big league debut last week. Heads up over there, Wiley. Is he okay? Thumbs up.
Yeah, I kind of felt like a quarterback there. We had the offensive line of the Photogs up front.
Wiley,
So, yeah.
Wiley, you're so far back, you're not even close to the action.
I got a big arm. I can make up for him. They're protecting the pocket down here, Frenchie.
We just hope you don't have to escape that pocket, Wiley.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go.
Then you're going on the IL.
Correct. Even if there was, I couldn't get there.
Watch this from earlier. Look at these hands.
Look, the guy in the blue sitting there thinking, almost got hit because this guy.
A lesser man wouldn't put his hand out.
I didn't know what we were going to see there. Our producer David White just goes, watch this from earlier.
Yeah.
So I was expecting to see a great play.
Thought we were going to see him in
I
Pittsburgh
was.
last year running, doing his
the Mario game. Yeah.
We have to do a viewer discretion is advised banner before we air that, Jeff.
Might be a good time to go to break. Dubon backpedaling. A homer though by Green. 3-2 Tigers. The third inning tonight brought to you by our friends at Audi. Experience the all-new Audi Q3. She's a beauty. You can get it at your local Atlanta area Audi dealer.
Is that what you're rolling around in these days?
Time to time. When the mood hits me right. It is a beauty, though. I like that car. Jonah Heim standing in there to start the bottom of the third. Since giving up that homer to Ozzie, Skubal has retired 5 straight. What a pitcher he has turned out to be, Skubal, from being a 9th-round pick by the Tigers back in 2018.
Out of the University of Seattle.
Yes, the only Division I scholarship offer that he had. What's interesting about that, he's not from Seattle, but pitching at Seattle University, is that J.R. Ritchie, obviously being from the Seattle area, there is a connection there. Now, they didn't know each other.
Yeah.
But he knew of Skubal's backstory and being that he played his college ball out there. Off the end of the bat, Skubal tried to go behind the back. The play is made, though, by Torres. But that's that same draft 2018 where the Tigers took Casey Mize, #1 overall out of Auburn. Mize pitched yesterday and injured his groin. But in the 9th round that year, they got their ace, Tarik Skubal.
I hope whatever scout decided to pull the trigger on that one.
He deserves a bonus.
He deserves a little something.
A little cheddar. So Skubal, his high school was really small in Arizona. The graduating class was 65. They didn't even have a baseball field. They played their games in a city park. And Skubal at that time threw mid-80s. He wanted to go to BYU to play, but BYU had no interest in him. So as we said, Seattle was the only Division I school to offer him a scholarship. Seattle had a first-year pitching coach. He was just looking for arms. They saw Skubal at a showcase and offered him as he strikes out Acuna. But he had Tommy John surgery in college. They weren't sure how it was going to work out. But his senior year, he pitched well enough for the Tigers to say, you know what, we're going to draft him. And the rest is history after taking him in the 9th round.
Well, and that's what makes him, I think, you know, so dynamic on the mound is the way he just pitched to Ronald right there. Got him on an off speed and check swing. He can't get Drake Baldwin.
Boy, Baldwin is 2 for 2. First it was out to left field. Now it's to right field for Drake Baldwin.
It's like you just want to go, is the game that easy? Just takes this ball off the outside and hooks it. See how he stays back so nice. So that's something he does so well. He doesn't go out to get the ball. You see a lot of guys go to get it, and he's so confident in his approach and his swing that he just stays there.
But what did you like about Skubal to Acuna?
Well,
there?
just that check swing. Then what does he do? 96 in, paints. So now as a hitter, man, lots of things are going through your head. And what does he do? Climbs the ladder at 97. And you know, it's just that's one of those things that I think I like what Drake Baldwin's doing. Ozzie here, man, you get to 2 strikes off Skubal, majority of the time he's going to put you away.
Ozzie had the 2-run homer in the first off of Skubal.
And what's a guy like Skubal want to do? He's a horse, he's an ace. He wants to go 7 or 8 innings. You do that by getting ahead.
There is the homer. It's our trip around the bases, brought to you by Destin Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Ozzie was ready for that offering. Let's see what he gets here. 1-1. Ozzie lifts a changeup down the right field line. On the run, Carpenter is able to get there. So a 2-out single for Baldwin, but no damage against Skubal in the 3rd.
Going to the top of the 4th inning here at Truist Park, and every season the Braves looking to continue their initiatives of growing the game. So they'll be having baseball and softball clinics, and check out this t-shirt, guys. Bring the heat. You can get that if you participate. But again, baseball and softball clinics for ages 6 to 12. You'll get a hat and a t-shirt and obviously learn a lot about how to play the game. And then also we've got some baseball and softball tournaments as well that begin late next month and will run through the end of June throughout Braves country. And at the end of June, there'll be a state championship event in Cobb County, June 27th and 28th, where you can win a state championship if you compete in the tournament. But guys, you know, so often we talk about growing the game and trying to find a way to invest in communities, and the Braves are trying to do their part.
And they do a great job with it, and we appreciate you sharing, Wiley, as Riley makes a play to take care of Torkelson.
You can have the t-shirt that Wiley's wearing.
Yeah, we got a couple up here. We don't have the color that Wiley does, but we got some options up here. Look at that. That could be your son or daughter wearing that shirt. Where's yours, Pop?
Got a Chris Sale state
championship. Oh, you got the Chris Sale.
Right here.
Look at
this.
that.
And pink in the back, 51.
That is awesome. So yes, bottom line is get into the act, get up, get online, look it up, sign up, and be a part of it.
Does that mean you guys don't bring the heat? Like I bring the heat?
We know
That's
you do.
kind of birdies when he said bringing the heat.
That's true. That brought me back.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
You're stealing birdies.
I'm not stealing anything. I'm celebrating it. It's like a cover.
Yeah, but you didn't give credit to Birdie.
That's what this whole segment's about. That's what we're doing right now, Jeff. We're giving Birdie the credit. Right, that's what we're doing.
Oh,
I do like that shirt, though. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Wiley, I'll trade you. I got an extra medium up here with your name on it.
I look good in the extra medium.
Well, it's debatable.
Yeah. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, Brandon.
Hey, look who else is here. C.J. Nitkowski.
CJ, get off your phone. Watch the game.
But his better half, Megan, is here. That's more important. It's good to have them. They were up in the booth before the game.
Man, he must know somebody.
He's got,
sweet seats.
He's got the good seats down there. Center field, Michael able to come in and get it off the bat of Young. J.R. Ritchie, remember in D.C. we saw his dad Ian. There's mom Victoria in the white hat on the left, and the white hat in the middle is fiance McKenna Miller. But Dad is not sitting there. Dad is nervous, and Dad is up on the concourse.
We need to get him more in Austin Riley's dad's mode. When Austin hit his first home run, his dad was drinking a silver bullet up there. It was outstanding. I'm to relax a little bit. Take it in.
The couple and is in from Seattle, Washington. Now McKenna lives in the apartment close to here in Gwinnett with J.R. Ritchie, who almost hit McGonigal there. But for the parents, Ian and Victoria, they had to scramble and take a red eye to D.C. just to see that first game, and of course flying back out here for the first home start for Ritchie.
But man, I'll tell you what's pretty cool for him, man. If it stays like this, he lines up to pitch in Seattle next week.
How cool would that be?
Imagine how many tickets he might not have a first paycheck.
He's going to be hearing from a lot of people.
Yeah.
He grew up watching those Mariners, but he did have an affinity for the Braves. He was a big Dansby Swanson fan back in the day.
Why don't I talk to numerous guys that have told me that he was here, obviously, with, you know, East Cobb, Perfect Game, Lake Point, numerous times throughout his high school career. So,
but that would be something if he does end up making his third big league start in his hometown. Good block there by Heim. The difference here today, Frenchie, I think, is he hasn't been as economical with his pitches. A lot of deep counts. He's already at 72 pitches. Remember, he got through 7 and threw less than 90 in D.C.
Well, Jeff, you were talking about him playing at East Cobb. He almost transferred to Buford when he was considered reclassifying. So he could have been really around.
Could have been right down the road from me, Wiley.
Would have learned a lot.
Debatable. 3-2 line toward the gap. It will fall in front of Eli White, and sprinting all the way to third, Perez. So the Tigers with 2 outs, they've got him at the corners. That's a couple of tough at-bats from McGonigal here.
Well, he kind of got that Drake Baldwin, too. Look how he stays behind that. And just kind of shoots it out there. It's not hit hard, but now you kind of come back around here with Gleyber Torres, and last time you were able to get him to ground out to Olsen. And big part of the game here. You see Skubal kind of starting to settle in a little bit.
Ritchie trying to keep this at a 1-run deficit. So Gleyber Torres 0 for 4 in the series, but he has drawn 3 walks, including 1 in the first today. outside 2-0.
Just from here, you see that fastball being pulled to a lot of these righties, which shows me maybe a little bit of overthrowing, right? Trying to, as much as it is to have your first start in DC, it was a day game too, right?
Yes.
Now you're here at night, a little more energy, good crowd tonight.
Yeah, you can look at it one of two ways. He didn't get to DC until 2 in the morning. He knew about his first start in the big leagues 16 hours before it happened. So maybe everything happened so fast. Right. Yeah. He does get a bouncer here to short. Dubon helping out Richie to end the top of the 4th. It remains 3-2. Bottom 4, 3-2 Tigers. Zaxby's Who's Got the Sauce? Most RBI by teammates. Olsen and Baldwin, number 2 in baseball. I wouldn't have figured Stewart and De La Cruz at the top, but Cincinnati's been off to a good start.
No, I think they racked up this past weekend. Like I said, a lot of home runs.
That's when Cincinnati took 2 of 3 from the Tigers before they came here to Atlanta. So you got the Braves at 21-9 in the AL Central. Detroit and Cleveland both 500 right now, and that is tied for the best record in the division. But what a luxury right now for the Braves. You're only sitting here on April 29th. You're not even to May, and you've got a 6.5 game lead in the East.
Yeah.
And a premier matchup right here between the left-handed pitcher Skubal, the left-handed hitter Matt Olson. 2-2. Olson fouls off the two-seamer. Olson able to stay alive. 98 that time from Skubal.
Skubal reared back a little bit on that one.
Just a touch up. 98 again that time for the southpaw. Skubal making just his 2nd career start against Atlanta. Started here at Truist Park a couple of years ago and took the loss. One of only 4 losses in his Cy Young season in 24. Olson turns on this and hits it out to the track and right. It's a long single to start the bottom of the 4th for Matt Olson.
What an at bat here. Fouling a bunch off and then gets the 3-2 here and turns on this pitch. Tell Matt's locked in right now, and 3 of the 4 hits for the Braves tonight by left-handed hitters.
Yeah, the 2 for Baldwin, that one by Olson, and then Ozzie, the switch hitter, with a homer from the right side in the 1st. This could be 2. 5, 4, 3, and just like that, Olson and Riley erase 2 down. So Skubal quickly gets 2 away and now faces Mauricio Dubon. You said in the open, Frenchie, but there's going to be a big paycheck coming for Skubal. He's making $32 million this year, but he's going to be a free agent after the season, and somebody is going to have to pay him
9 years.
Yeah, it's going to have to be an ungodly amount of money.
I mean, the Tigers didn't even make an offer. That tells you everything you need to know. They went out and, you know, gave Framber Valdez, what, 5 years, 150, I think. So, I mean, they know what's coming. And I think that's why for the Tigers, with Mize and, you know, Valdez, Skubal, they feel like this is their year.
Yeah, it's win now time for the Tigers, trying to get back to the postseason for a third straight year. Nothing in the fourth for the Braves. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Racetrack, whatever gets you going. By Southeast Toyota, visit your local Toyota dealer today. And also by Georgia Power. Score big savings at georgiapower.com/tips. 3-2 here as we start the fifth inning. J.R. Ritchie sitting at 78 pitches right now, and he's facing 3-4-5 in the Tigers' order.
Good buddy Chris Nelson reminded me that Framber Valdez is 3 years, 115. So even more money for him.
Cheese, yeah.
Even more cheese. I downplayed him.
But you're right. I mean, going out and getting him, the moves that they made, the moves in the bullpen with Jansen and Finnegan and re-signing Torres, they're thinking it is now for the Tigers.
For sure. They've been close. You think they got a taste of it 2 years ago? They were 7 outs away from beating the Guardians in that DS series, and then last year, of course, blew the 14-game lead. Still won a wild card series, and then lost to Seattle.
That epic Game 5 was Seattle that went 15 innings. Riley in foul ground. Braves.tv, folks. Watch it live or on demand on any device. Less than 70 cents a game to watch the Braves on Braves.tv.
Got to make sure we get our sleep tonight. Quick turnaround.
12:15 first pitch tomorrow. Bryce Elder and the aforementioned Framber Valdez on the mound for Detroit. And then the boys head west. Longest trip of the season. Matt Olson backhands it.
Nice.
Yeah, he caught it. Doesn't even need to flip. He does it just for good measure. 2 down.
Well, I was just about to say, man, it'd be nice to see J.R. Ritchie get through 5 innings, but gets another quick out right here. You might see him come out for the 6th. Card Shield play the defensive play of the game right here. Give it to the man.
Good job, Pop.
Yeah.
You're ready. You know the sponsors.
Don't flip it, Matt. You caught it. You knew it. Gold glove.
So won a few of those over there now. A couple in Oakland and now one here in Atlanta last year. Yeah, but if you can get Ritchie through a quick inning here and get you 6, even better.
Yeah, and you're kind of back at that bottom half of the lineup.
Braves bullpen is quiet right now.
Fuentes looked good last night, didn't
he? He did. A couple of solid innings. Tell you what, if he can keep doing that, Frenchie, and you get Reynaldo Lopez down there, bullpen gets even tougher.
But it's so funny. Fuentes, you know, he's so young. That's how guys used to come up. They'd start in the pen, right? Get going a little bit. And you could tell it almost like he had this free and easy feeling last night of, I know I probably only have 2 innings. I can let it go a little bit.
So you like Fuentes down there for now?
Right now. I mean, look, the stuff is there. At some point, he will get his opportunity. But when you can see what you saw last night, and in certain games where if a starter gives you 6 and you're up 4 or 5, you're down 4 or 5, him doing that saves that other part of the pen that's so big.
Swing and a miss. Right where you want that curveball. Mom approves. 1-2-3 inning for J.R. Ritchie in the 5th. .88 pitches through 5 innings, giving up the 3 runs, a few walks mixed in, but J.R. Ritchie has battled tonight, Frenchie.
He has, and kind of looking where the lineup is, maybe he gets a chance to go back out, maybe get 1 or 2 batters, depending.
Yeah, you got 6, 7, 8 coming up in the 6th for Detroit. Michael Harris, first pitch he sees in the bottom of the 5th. He lines to right for a single.
So now we can keep track, right? Lefties have 4 of the 5 hits, and you think about the other out, Matt Olson could have had a hit. They made a great play at third.
So the lefties getting to the southpaw so far tonight.
Come on, Wall, put Dom in.
Right now it's Eli White. 7, 8, 9 hitters. Range Rover bringing you this, engineered to win, and certainly when you have these numbers from the bottom of your order.
Yeah, that's where you're going to be difficult, and that's what if you remember in 23, that's why that year was so special. Those numbers, that's what they looked like.
And for a lot of that season, French, you remember it was Michael Harris batting 9th.
Yeah.
And he just turned that lineup card over so well. Tonight, Michael hitting 7th, and Eli and then Jonah Heim 9th.
Here comes a changeup right here.
You feeling it?
2-0. Want him to get big.
All right, threw him a 4-seamer, and it's popped out to right. And there's your first out in the 5th. The thing too with Skubal is you would think with his numbers he would have a higher walk rate, but he just does not walk guys.
No.
And he has not given up any free passes tonight.
Well, just like that. Look where that pitch is, right on the white line in. He commands both sides of the plate so well. Definitely a little better into righties, but still that ability to throw that changeup off the plate too is what keeps those guys from cheating on the fastball.
And with that command, he keeps his pitch count very manageable. He's at 64 right now here in the 5th.
Well, you remember in the Ford Keys, what we talked about was that third time through the lineup, and that's coming up with Ronald next. And he has not struggled with that previous years, but he has so far in his first 5-6 starts.
Saw a 5-4-3 double play last inning, and we see another one here in the 5th. Still 3-2 Tigers. Hey, exclusive perks and access to Braves baseball is just around the corner with the Atlanta Braves season ticket wait list. As an A-lister, you have unique opportunities, including photos on the field. You get guaranteed bobbleheads. You get your dedicated member entrance and so much more. Go to Braves.com/waitlist to join today. And you can maybe drink beer out of that boot.
Yeah.
Guy's ready. He's got his City Connect. He came to play tonight, Frenchie.
Good for him.
I like that. I like the hat too.
Yeah, he's looking sharp.
He's ready. Game ready. It is Richie back out there facing 6, 7, 8 in the order. You have Dylan Lee, who just returned from the paternity list today, out there in the bullpen. And a clarification on the paternity list from what I said yesterday. So you can miss up to 3 days, but you can return earlier. And that's what Lee is doing. He only missed the 1 day yesterday. He is back and ready to go tonight.
Question is, did he run out of any, or has he got any sleep?
Probably not. Maybe he took a nap before warming up out there in the bullpen.
I need to come in the 6th or 7th because past 9:30 I'm done.
But congratulations to the Lees on the addition to their family. Richie with a 2-2 to Carpenter. He leaves that curveball outside. Full count. Mentioned that Game 5 for Seattle and Detroit. That was out in Seattle, and Wiley reminding me that J.R. Ritchie was actually at that game back home in Seattle after finishing his minor league season last year.
Took in a little playoff baseball.
Yeah, with a childhood friend. Stayed for the whole thing, all 15 innings, all 5 hours of it. Another bouncer foul. Little did J.R. Ritchie know that early in the next season he would be facing these Detroit Tigers in his first home start. Pitch number 8 of the at bat. And he leaves it high and outside. That's not Walt that's coming out. It's Jeremy Hefner coming out to talk to Ritchie here. And we'll get in a quick message from Zaxby's.
Zaxby's just dropped a whole new line of dry rubs, and they're not playing around. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
What's the conversation here, Frenchie?
I think it's just to tell him maybe this is it right here. You know, he with Torkelson, he's got him 2 ground balls tonight, 1 to short, 1 to third. You know, I think if he gets Carpenter, I think they would have given him a chance to get Torkelson and Perez, but unless this is a double play ball right here, I think he's probably just telling him, get this guy right here, and you got a great guy in Dylan Lee down there to turn the ball over to.
High pop, so he is going to get Torkelson. It'll be Dubon to glove it. And now decision time.
I see Walt starting to creep over here. I like this idea. I think he's pitched well, and the last thing you want to do is get on the wrong side here. You got one of the best relievers down there in the pen right here. Put out this fire, and you know, another good start. Was not as economical as you said, but still you saw what the Braves and what fans should love with the stuff.
5 1/3 for J.R. Ritchie in his first big league start at Truist Park. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. It's that simple. By Delta Airlines, keep climbing. And by Comcast Business, all in connection and protection your small business can rely on. No one does business like Comcast Business. All right, so J.R. Ritchie, 97 pitches, 5 1/3. He's responsible for Carpenter on first. And now Dylan Lee, back from the paternity list after his wife Bailey gave birth to their second child, is facing Perez. '15th time out this year for the left-hander.
He's had a great start to the year, and you know, I think for him too, with the way the bullpen's set up, he's got a little bit more of a defined role. Whereas last year, even though he had a great year, there were times you'd see him in the 5th game to put out fires. I think he's that guy now that, like in this type game here, he could get you 2 outs here and then get you through the 7th too if you needed to. I mean, the way Scooble's starting to throw like that, you figure you got to keep this score right at 3 or at least 4 to give your offense a chance.
And for Lee, working himself into that defined role and that leverage role as well, which he really earned last year. Three-two pitch to Perez, and he strikes him out. Fastball, swing and a miss.
I always laugh sometimes when you see a hitter turn around and ask the umpire something. And the only thing I can imagine, it was at a strike, and it's like the ball's right down the pipe.
What do you think?
Yeah, you missed it.
You're going to get a pinch hitter here in Jahmai Jones, so that prompts Heim to go out and talk to Lee about strategy. The Detroit Tigers, talked about this last night, but they will frequently play matchups and not afraid to use guys off the bench.
No, A.J. Hinch has about 2 or 3 guys that are their everyday guys. And other than that, he's got 5, 6 guys that he will pinch hit at any time. He's been vocal about it. I'll do it in the 4th inning. That's a big part. And I think that's where, when you talk about like the Braves bullpen and not wanting to burn some of these guys, you know, I called that series of Detroit and Cleveland 2 years ago, and their bullpen was unhittable. But they rode them all year, and they did in the first half last year too, which got them that 14-run lead. And then you know what happened?
They ran out of gas.
Empty.
Yeah.
And when it turned the other way. And so I think for them, having the starting pitching they do this year, I think is hoping for him to get some of these arms in the pen healthy again.
That was the biggest division lead that was ever blown last year by the Tigers at 14.5 games. They did get the last laugh, as Frenchie said, when they beat Cleveland in the playoffs and then bowed out to Seattle. They haven't won that Central Division since 2014, but they are the odds-on favorites to do it this year. 1-2 here from Lee. Downstairs. Maybe try one more of those sliders.
Yeah, why not? Sweep the leg.
See if he goes.
JR still looks locked in down on the bench.
He is.
Doesn't he?
Wasn't the cleanest outing for J.R. Ritchie, but I think he battled. He's earned another start, you would think.
I would think so. In Seattle next week. And look, you know, you've heard Glab for years talk about it up here. You got to learn to pitch with not your ace stuff.
And Lee gets him. The patented slider. Swing and a miss by Jones. It's still 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Jahmai Jones, just some fresh Atlanta air on this Wednesday night. Going through the lineup now for the 3rd time as you take a peek at our Toyota trends. Frenchie, this is what you mentioned earlier.
That was a key. It's one of my 2 keys.
So can the Braves get to him here, starting with Acuna? It was last Thursday against Milwaukee. Skubal going through the lineup the 3rd time, where he gave up the lead in the 7th.
Came and slammed the cooler.
Yes, he did. He threw his mitt. He slammed the cooler.
And you don't see that too much from him.
Now the Tigers did pick him up. They came back to win that game, so he avoided the loss.
Is that the game Torkelson hit the walk-off?
Yes. So we'll see if the Braves can get to him here. The only 2 runs for Atlanta came back in the 1st. That was on the Ozzie homer. Three balls and 2 strikes. Ronald, 2 Ks tonight. Only 3 strikeouts total for Skubal, but he's been getting a lot of ground ball outs. And he gets Ronald again.
The slider. You saw 2 that at bat. And you almost wonder, as we look back, maybe this 3rd time through, if you start to see more sliders from him instead of just that fastball changeup combo. This is the guy he hasn't been able to solve.
2 for 2, a pair of singles for Baldwin. First pitch bounced to short. And he does get Baldwin here in the 6th.
And I think that's 3 pitches for Drake. Like his first pitch every single time tonight.
Hit it pretty hard again, but right at McGonigal. So Ozzie, the 2-run homer to left back in the 1st, and he had the fly out in the 3rd.
There's that slider again. So you've seen 3 out of the last 4 pitches now.
And the next pitch is just going to be number 75. So if he gets Ozzie here, certainly he's going to be back out for the 7th.
Hey, think about it. 2 double plays tonight.
Ground ball, diving stop. Keith. Another good play. He's had a couple of them over there at the hot corner. And a 1-2-3-6 for Tarek Skubal. Pretty good play over there.
That was nice right here. You could see almost overran it. Makes a good throw. Braves still down 1.
Look at that hat. You can get that May 22nd here at Truist Park. Country and Western night at Truist, presented by Visit Sarasota, along with live country music and flair throughout the ballpark that night. Braves.com/promos.
Was Aldine wearing that in the booth with y'all the other day?
He was not. He had that hat on. I want to know this guy's story. He's suited and booted.
It's got to be from the UK.
He just came across the pond to take in Tigers Bravos.
Yeah. Check out a little baseball Americano.
Lee got the couple of strikeouts there in the 6th, back out for the 7th, top of the order. McGonigal, tough customer. RBI hit in the 2nd, another single in the 4th, both of those against J.R. Ritchie.
That's where Dylan's so good with that fastball and that slider right off it.
There it goes again. They know it's coming, and they still can't hit it. 3 straight strikeouts.
That's when you know it's really good. Just doesn't get there. Guys see it. You can tell he recognized that, but just keeps going away from him.
Swings over the top. Now Gleyber Torres. Got the stretch coming up and a couple of outs. Brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. Ready for the Cracker Jack toss tonight, Frenchie?
So upset y'all didn't throw one my way last night.
Well, it's kind of hard to get that in your booth over
there. Got to lean over. I was looking actually.
Were you really?
I was.
Well, CJ, he's a lefty and had the better angles, so we'll blame him.
Yeah, blame him.
They showed him on the video board in between innings, and they had a hamster up there. We had a lot of hamster talk last night. We both had hamster trauma in our childhood. My dog,
Did you?
My dog, when I was 12, ate my hamster Chopper that I had named after the tomahawk chop. Sad.
He was going to go eventually.
He was. He lived 2 days. It wasn't a long life, but it was an impactful one.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, it's still touchy 30 years later, but we're here.
Have you as a hamster kid?
You know, I didn't either. I don't know what happened there.
We got a man there.
Dubon did not have to move a muscle. 97 off the bat. Here's a quick word from Delta.
From Braves country to the world. Delta, official airline of the Atlanta Braves.
Do you have a goldfish or anything, Frenchie?
Just dogs. We had some gerbils for a couple of years.
Oh, well, that's basically a hamster. Did your gerbils get eaten by one of the dogs?
And I wasn't into the gerbils.
Okay.
They were just there.
Yeah. Just off in the corner.
Yeah, it was more my sister and brother.
I would also get a goldfish at the county fair every year and would come home, you put it in the bowl, wake up, it's belly up. Then you have to get it the burial at sea.
Little glowfish for like 20 bucks and they're dead within the week.
But they provided 12 hours of great excitement. Feeling a slider here, Frenchie. What do you think?
Why not?
He didn't go after it, though.
No. What happened with CJ and the hamster?
So his
similar
the cat like ate the side of the hamster, and then his dad tried to play like the hamster was still alive, so put it back in the cage, and CJ woke up and it was dead.
Bled out.
Yeah, so You know, that's pretty traumatizing for a child.
The cat or the hamster?
But both, and the child, yeah. The cat just wanted a little snack. Hope Pete's not locked in tonight. What kind of dogs did you have?
A German Shepherd and then a Shih Tzu.
Did you mate that with a bulldog?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
did.
Haven't heard that before.
2-2 pitch. He got him. Hey, what else? It's the slider. So Dylan Lee comes out of the pen. He's faced 5 batters. He strikes out 4 of them.
Looks like his sleep was just fine.
He is feeling good, the father at 2. It's time for the stretch.
Welcome to the stretch, fueled by Georgia Natural Gas. Service, savings, sustainability. It's that simple.
Welcome to the stretch, fueled by Georgia Natural Gas. Peter Moylan and Nick Green here with you. Peter, I want to talk about J.R. Ritchie's night. We talked about him in the pregame show and the fact he had more time to think about this start and prepare for this start. Not quite as sharp as the start against Washington, but still kept him in the ballgame.
He sure did, and I really like what I saw in parts of the outing tonight. As a pitching coach, there was some adjustments that I'd like to see him make. It felt like he may have been guiding some pitches at time and not having full conviction behind each pitch. I thought the changeup was good early on, and then he gave up that home run to Riley Green, and that sort of took that changeup away from him. He had trouble landing either of his breaking ball pitches. There was a couple of good ones to get punch-outs. The elevated fastball came in at times tonight, so I did really see a lot that he can build off for next start. But this is part of the learning curve for him too. First time at home, first time in front of a big league crowd. It's got to be some adjustments.
Yeah, plenty of things to like about J.R. Ritchie's start tonight. We'll see if the Braves can come back in this one. That third time through the order has been problematic for Tarek Skubal. Let's get you back to Braves baseball after a quick word from our friends at Georgia Natural Gas.
When it comes to natural gas in Georgia, G&G leads the league. We keep it simple with great rates that save you money. We even make it easy to reduce your carbon footprint with greener life. Sign up in minutes at gng.com. It's that simple.
Going to the bottom of the 7th inning, Tarek Skubal is still on the mound for the Tigers. And guys, I had a chance to ask Tim Hires a couple days ago how he evaluates after a game if a game plan was effective. And that can be pretty hard to do. It depends on, was the pitcher making a bunch of mistakes? Was the pitcher had great stuff that night? But one thing he really tries to focus on is taking away plan A. And for Tarek Skubal, we know that changeup is so lethal. Well, for what it's worth, on the season, it's about a 37% chase rate. Tonight, the Braves have gone off to about 1 of every 5. So that is a good sign for the Braves as far as having a plan to be successful against arguably the top arm in baseball.
That is our Kia field report from Wiley Ballard.
I just get 37 to 20%. I mean, you know, when you're facing him again, you know you're going to be in for a tough matchup. And here we are 3-2. And, you know, Matt's had a good night right here. See if he can get us started.
Yeah, Matt turned on 98 back in the 4th and lined it sharply to right for a single.
And Jeff, one other thing that Tim pointed out was you can have the game plan coming in, but once you get through the first couple of innings, especially that first trip through, it can change rapidly. I'm curious in your time playing, I mean, how quickly did you guys adjust your game plan when facing a starter?
Well, hold that thought because Tarek Skubal is reaching at that left elbow. Remember, they lost Casey Mize last night to a groin injury. This is more concerning. Something with his arm. You got a guy that is one of the best, if not currently the best in the game. Back-to-back Cy Young awards. And at 79 pitches right now, he's feeling something out there. He just mouthed, "I'm good."
Was it the elbow or was it the forearm? That's what I was.
Ooh. Well, he says he's good. That's strange, Frenchie. I mean, clearly that pitch felt uncomfortable for him.
Something.
But then he quickly said, "I'm fine," and here comes a 2-2. And I guess he is fine. Gets 97 by Matt Olson.
Hey, you just saw him shake it right after. That pitch looked just fine, but.
Well, it didn't take much for him to convince A.J. Hinch that he was fine. So whatever he felt, he is moving on.
But I think back to what Wiley was talking a little bit about. That's what I mean. Against a guy like Skubal, you got to adjust all game because you know he's going to adjust back. And you know we were talking about not chasing on that changeup as much, and maybe that's why the last 2 innings we've seen him get more slider heavy, trying to get that pitch in the zone if they don't go after my second pitch.
96 top shelf there. 1-2 to Riley. A guy in Skubal who debuted in 2020, had an okay year. Every year you look at his numbers, he has gotten better and better and better. And off to another great start this year, and gave up the homer early to Ozzie, but since then he's been lights out. And back-to-back strikeouts against Olson and Riley. Frenchie, are you seeing anything from Austin right now?
I just, you know, I had a chance to talk to him a little bit at the cage yesterday in this, and sometimes you just get thinking so much, man. And I think that's where he's a little bit at right now, trying to feel that swing. And again, you know, Austin had that little week or two where he started to get going a little bit again. But if you think back, a couple doubles to right field, or was that he had that home run to right center in Philadelphia? He's just feeling it. I think the good news for him, and really Ronald's just gotten going, is the team's scoring, right? They're doing this, so that's a good thing. You're getting time to figure this out, and they will. They're too good not to.
Yeah, Braves scoring the most runs in baseball without Riley and Acuna really being fully on track right now. So you got Lopez and Kenley right now in the pen for the Braves. Two and two here to Mauricio Dubon as Skubal tries to finish off the seventh. There is action in the Tigers bullpen right now. It's Finnegan getting ready for the 8th inning.
I wonder if they would let Skubal go back out there for the 8th, try to finish, but with what you just saw and with his shaking his arm, I wonder if this could be it because of that.
Certainly there will be a discussion in that dugout after this inning about whatever took place. Well, Skubal got off to the shaky start in the first inning, but since then he has been tremendous. Braves baseball is presented by Truist. A look at Truist Park on a pleasant night for baseball here, where the Braves down 3-2. Tigers trying to even up the series, and Frenchie Lopez switching to the bullpen, a role he's comfortable in. But this is his first relief appearance, you see there at the bottom, since September of 24.
Well, you remember he was so good there in Chicago out of the pen. So, you know, nothing's set in stone. You know, talking to Walt yesterday, we're just going to try something out for a little bit and see what it looks like. And the big concern, right, is the velocity of the fastball, not being able to maintain that throughout the game. And I've given this example, but I had a teammate in Kansas City, and Wade Davis, who, when he started, he was 93, 94. He had 98 in the tank, but he said, I can't do it and get to the 3rd, 4th inning, and they moved him to the pen. And of course, the rest is history. He was outstanding.
And 91 on the fastball. Then that slow curve at 70. Green had a homer back in the 3rd inning. Well, for Lopez, some of that and how Walt figures all this out will certainly depend on J.R. Ritchie and his continued development, and then Strider and what does he look like when he returns. And looking further down the line, Hurston Waldrop He's going to have his first bullpen next week. The Braves are hopeful for a June return at some point. Schwellenbach's not throwing yet, so that would probably be a second half return for Spencer Schwellenbach.
Be like a deadline pickup, though. And of course, you'd love to have him in the rotation now, but
it's still an if. But if you could get both of those guys back at some point and pitching like they were last year, what a bonus. A good start for Lopez out of the pen. He gets Green swinging.
A great slider. And look, when Iggy comes back in that 9th inning role, that's why if Lopez goes down there and it goes well,
Riley's going to have to really hustle. And he does. And able to get Dingler 2 down.
That's where Austin's so smart at third base too, that time clock, right? You know, Dingler's not the fastest runner. He's got decent speed. Sometimes you'll see Austin barehand this, but he knew he had time to get in his glove, had to get rid of it quick. But great play. You go barehand, that's one of those 50-50 plays. Instead, I know it looked a lot harder, but for Austin, who does it every day, an easy out.
Reynaldo appreciates it, gets the first 2. Now Kerry Carpenter. Carpenter comes up swinging. Harris over there. He gets to it.
Well, that looked easy.
Yeah, still recovering from that quad, but Lopez sets him down in order. Well, 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Gave up the homer to Ozzie, but after that, Frenchie, he really got locked in.
I think we might have pissed him off in that first inning. And after that, he just went to Motown. He was hitting spots. That fastball got better as the game went on. Got a lot of swing and miss. 7 strikeouts, no walks. And that's why you get paid $32 million.
Yep. And going to get paid more next year. He struck out the side in the 7th. Now he turns the ball over to Kyle Finnegan here in the 8th. Excellent numbers so far for Finnegan. He came over from the Nationals at the deadline last year, and then they re-signed him. Hard to tell for Michael, but again, he's been battling that quad. A little bit of a grimace on that catch.
He had to kind of turn on the burners a little bit to get to that. And it's just, I think for a while, something he's going to have to deal with. You know, I would think tomorrow you probably see him get the day off, maybe. You can see his face right here. And again, he can control it a lot of the time, right? But there's, I think, times where you have to kick it into gear, and you probably grabbed a little bit on him. 12-15 game, whether he DHs or just gets the day off. Probably not a horrible idea.
Yeah, he had the DH for a couple of games and back out in center here. Fouls off the splitter from Finnegan. So you've got Perez in right. And that puts Vierling in the game in center field now. Removing Carpenter, who was in right. And Finnegan picking up where Skubal left off. So that's 4 straight strikeouts for Tigers pitching. And now Yastrzemski is going to pinch hit for Eli White.
Just watching his at bat right there, you could tell even by his swing, he looked tentative on that.
Yaz had a good game yesterday, had a double and then an RBI single in the 5-2 win for Atlanta.
Yeah, his at bats have been getting better here lately.
A slow start to the season, and he knows it. Nobody knows it more than Mike Yastrzemski. But maybe turning around here in the right direction. Yep, he's going to challenge. I was wondering.
It's a good one, too.
The batter is challenging the pitch.
And he is correct, and the Braves keep that one challenge.
Pitch the ball. Atlanta has one challenge remaining.
So instead of 1-1, now you are at 2-0.
That's why you have one, right? So we talked about the 7th, 8th inning for stuff like that. 2-0 count now, a little different, especially down 1.
See if the Braves can just get a base runner here. Have not had a runner in scoring position the entire game. When Ozzie hit that homer in the first, Baldwin was at first base. But nobody since has reached second. Innocent pop to left. Here's a quick message from Chevrolet.
Get into a 2026 Chevy Trax, starting at $23,495. Proud partner of the Atlanta Braves.
Going to get another pinch hitter here. Instead of Jonah Heim, Dom Smith stepping into the game. Look at the numbers. He's provided some special moments so far in this season in that Braves uniform. See what he can do with 2 down in the 8th inning.
You know, for one thing, he's going to give you a good AB.
He's been a great clubhouse presence from the moment he stepped in there. Bouncer to first, it goes foul. We were talking about the Tigers bullpen and how they faded late last year. Their numbers this year haven't been great, but Finnegan and Jansen in the back end, that's a really good 1-2 punch.
Yeah, Jansen's blown a couple saves. He's been prone to the long ball at times, but it's getting to that part that they've struggled with. Best not having a good start this year.
ERA 19th overall for the group. Was wondering if Dingler was going to challenge that.
He looked like he wanted to. He was about to.
It's like he might have won it. Suarez standing ready for Atlanta.
Comes back split now. See if he can hang this one to Dom.
Two. It is a splitter. It's in the dirt. Full count. You got Acuna on deck. The Tigers really encouraged Finnegan into last year to lean on that splitter more. He did. Saw a big jump in his strikeouts. Let's see what he goes with here. 3-2. He threw a 4-seam fastball.
Yeah, that's one thing I think he'd gotten really fastball heavy at times. And although it's a good fastball, that split is a great equalizer for Kyle Finnegan.
Another payoff pitch. It is low. Dom Smith's going to challenge.
Oh,
yeah, he's going to win this.
He's going to win this one pretty easy.
The crowd erupts. The inning continues.
Hey, you know when the pitcher's asking for the ball back.
And again, how big to have a challenge in that moment.
That's why.
Dingler is going to go out and talk to Finnegan before he faces Ronald Acuna Jr. Mateo is going to pinch run at first base. Remember, with Mateo at first, you get elite speed. He led the AL in steals a few years ago. He can really motor. And Ronald is trying to make amends for 3 strikeouts.
He's going to be happy the fact that it's not Skubal out there. It'd be anybody else.
Just the 2 homers so far on the young season for Ronald Acuna Jr. Had a pair of doubles last night. There have been no runs in this game since the 3rd inning when the Tigers took the lead. Braves trying to mount a 2-out rally here in the 8th. Finnegan deals. It's upstairs. It is 3-1. Drake Baldwin is on deck.
And you know, you don't say it too many times, but they do not want to put Ronald on and have to face Drake Baldwin, especially in those situations where he's been so clutch.
Hitters count. What a big pitch right here. Oh, Ronald missed the splitter. We'll see if Finnegan goes back to that splitter in a full count here. Three-two. Downstairs with a 4-seam fastball. Back-to-back walks. Tying run in scoring position.
Shows you why you keep grinding here. Dom Smith 0-2 with 2 outs. Walked it all the way back, got the walk. Got Mateo with speed on there now. A ball hit anywhere to the outfield is going to score Mateo and tie this ball game up.
Pitching coach Chris Fetter out for a meeting. We mentioned how good Drake Baldwin has been in these spots. He is a big reason why the Braves lead baseball with runners in scoring position in batting average, and they're tied for the most RBI in baseball.
We talk all Drake's home runs have been solo shots. So outside of that, he has been coming through nonstop in these situations.
Finnegan settles, checks, and fires. Just outside, 1-0. Baldwin had 2 hits against Skubal, and now Skubal out of the game, and Finnegan dealing him a 1-0 pitch. That one is in there. And remember, against Skubal, he only saw 3 pitches in those 3 at-bats, like you mentioned, Frenchie. But different this go-around against Finnegan. One and two.
Ooh. That splitter was up, hung it, just missed it.
A lot of the folks standing here at Truist Park hoping for this 2-out rally to continue. They paid Finnegan a lot of money to put these fires out. He's walked 2. There are 2 outs. His 1-2 pitch upstairs.
Some hitters, you try to come up and in, get him thinking that, but you see Drake not moving at all, just stays right in that approach, knows what he wants to do.
Drake once again swinging at that splitter. This one he fouls off. Tense moments over there in that Tigers dugout as they try to even the series here. Baldwin fouls off another one. You got Anderson, the righty, throwing. Seventh pitch of the at bat. Here we go. And there will be an eighth.
And it's because of his willingness, like I said, to stay up the middle the other way. He's on time on every one of these pitches. Finnegan's throwing some good quality pitches here, and Drake continues to spoil them.
The last 5 pitches, splitter, four seam, splitter, four seam, splitter. So if he continues the pattern, this will be a four seam fastball. Ground ball off the glove of Finnegan, but it redirects to short. And McGonigal makes the play. Threw him another splitter. He gets out of the jam. It's still 3-2. As we head to the 9th, we take a look at our Whataburger What a Play, and it is the matchup tomorrow for the 12:15 start. We go on the air at 11:30 in the morning.
Eastern.
Valdez and Elder. It is Eastern, Bob. So get your sleep and get here early. You'll be here making some eggs for the crew around 7:30, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
After I drop the kids off.
Should be a fun one tomorrow. All right, Suarez is going to try to keep this 3-2 here.
Not Lopez.
Or Lopez,
still.
sorry.
Yeah.
And Lopez missing low to Torkelson.
And Suarez, if they tied that ball game up, would be coming in right here. But and this is the great thing with Lopez too. You have the ability to run him back out there, not have to throw Suarez.
And Lopez, it was quick, just 8 pitches there in the 8th inning to retire the Tigers in order. Torkelson, the #1 pick back in 2020. Not his 5th big league season. He fouls away the fastball 2-2.
He was 1-1 too, I think, right?
Yes.
First pick in the draft. Him, Mize.
Yeah, and those draft picks, the homegrown talent for the Tigers, it has worked out. Just a touch off that outside corner. Remember that Heim was pinch hit for, so that means Baldwin is now back behind the dish. Yes, right there at the knees. Torkelson is down looking.
It's funny, you see Lopez get a lot of those low strikes right there, and I don't know if it's, he hides the ball real well out of his hand, but these guys have a tough time pulling that trigger, and that ball stays on that level. Doesn't really drop at all. It's a lot of frozen pizza.
Well, you like every slice. We'll take this too. 2 down now. Now you look ahead to the bottom of the 9th. The Braves are going to have 3, 4, 5 coming up. Ozzie, Olsen, and Riley.
And they'll be facing a former teammate in Kenley Jansen, who I said he's had a good year. If we know one thing, he's prone to the long ball at times. So
yeah, he's given up 2 walk-off homers this year. So stay tuned. Squaring to bunt, bunting it foul is Jones.
Came off about 112 off the bat on the bunt.
They don't bunt often. No sacrifice bunts this year for Detroit. Obviously, that was just Jones trying to bunt for a hit. And they don't steal a lot of bases either. Not much small ball for A.J. Hinch's club. Pretty deep, but Harris is out there. All right, here we go. Bottom of the ninth, one-run game. You got Ozzie coming up first, then Matty O, then Austin. Stick around. So an interesting script right now as we march to the bottom of the ninth. You got Ozzie, Olsen, and Riley coming to the plate against a guy that was their teammate back in 2022. He has 482 career saves, third all-time in baseball, and he's looking for number 483 tonight.
I see that back in 22, led the NL that year with the Braves. Quite a career, started out there in LA. Came up a catcher. Big catcher.
And things worked out okay with the transition. The only two with more saves all time than Jansen, Mariano Rivera, Trevor Hoffman.
I think he outgrew the catcher position.
Yeah, can't imagine him behind the dish.
A couple good friends here with facing Ozzie.
Ozzie responsible for the Braves' 2 runs, the 2-run homer back in the first inning. Atlanta's been blank since. Jansen misses with the first 2. And remember, for Jansen, he got his 400th career save against the Braves back in 23. Now 3 years later, looking for number 483. Big swing at the cutter. Rally caps are on. Ozzie stays away from it. All cutters from Jansen. (3-1). He threw his 5th consecutive cutter, and it's 3-2.
You know what's coming here?
Cutter?
Yeah. It's our thing. He's got a good one. I know it not as hard as it used to be, but you know it's coming, and you still struggle to hit it at times.
It is the cutter. It is nowhere near. There's a spark for the Braves here in the bottom of the ninth.
Well, this is the advantage now. You have good speed at first base. And Kenley Jansen, one of the slowest to home plate.
And you got Matt Olson, who has 8 homers and 26 driven in already this year at the plate. One for 3 tonight for Matt Olson. Big swing, another cutter. Braves off to that sensational 21-9 start. Best 30-game start to a season for the Braves since the year 2000. Best record in baseball. Down by 1 here in the ninth, but the drama building. Olsen foul down the first base line.
Man, that was close.
Torkelson was right over there on the bag. (0-2) and he fouls it away. So that's the first non-cutter he's thrown. Yeah. In the dirt, Dingler able to keep that in front, so Ozzie stays put.
Hard thing right here is it's tough to run in this situation. Last thing you want is to line into a double play right here. Olsen gets out. You might see him go on first pitch with Riley.
Ozzie takes off. Matt Olson drills it towards the gap. It is gone! Truist magic tonight. A walk-off winner for Olson. Matt Olson is your hero. A two-run job to right center that he smoked, and the Braves win it and are 22-9.
He had great swings all night, and Ozzie took off. But that pitch right there, if you're Matt, you're ready for it. And I thought he smoked this. The only question was going to be high enough. And all of a sudden you saw the bullpen raise their hands, and I thought that ball's gone. And what a way to end it. We just said Jansen's given up 2 walk-off home runs. Matt Olson makes it a 3rd.
And it's back-to-back walk-off home runs for the former Brave in Kenley Jansen. And let's go down to the man of the hour, Matt Olson with Wiley.
Thanks, Brandon. Matt, we were just talking. You haven't faced Kenley Jansen too often in your career, just 2 at-bats, been over 5 years. How do you approach an at-bat like that?
Man, I mean, obviously he's got, a unicorn pitch. That cutter's something special. How's that feel? Woo! He had to do that. Man, honestly, I saw Ozzie miss under or above a couple, and just looked like he was getting a little more on top than he normally does. So I wanted to make sure to stay with a double play. Try to get something in the air a little bit, and he left that one over the plate.
J.R. Ritchie got off to a bumpy start, but settled in, gave you guys a chance to win. How impressed have you been by that young kid?
Yeah, definitely very calm, composed on the mound. He's got, multiple pitches. He mixed it around well. Just, a good pitcher with good stuff, and he did a good job of keeping us in the ball game tonight.
You guys are going to enter May without having lost a series on the season. I mean, how much fun is that clubhouse right now?
Yeah, we're definitely having fun with it. Winning cures all, so we'll see how long we can ride this streak out.
All right, well, I need you to go make that player of the game putt, okay?
Yeah, I got you.
Back up to you guys.
All right, Wiley. Yeah, the player of the game gets the putt in the clubhouse. I think that's going to go to Matt Olson tonight.
Yeah, why not? Let him putt right there. What a comeback, man. They hung. We talked about J.R. Ritchie, the bullpen, keeping it at 3 and giving your offense a chance, and that's what happened. And now you got a chance to sweep tomorrow. Get your sleep, Pop. Got a big day game.
Early start. We'll be back to continue to wrap it up. The celebration is on. The Braves just keep winning, folks. 22-9. What a ride to start 2026. The Braves pitching kept them in it, and Matt Olson, the hero, with a 2-run walk-off homer.
I'll tell you, these guys are having incredible bats, man. They battled all night. Derek Skubal, as good as there is in the game, and got some runs early. We were able to keep it in, and Olson, great at bat there. He kept on time on it and finally got one that he could drive right there. Incredible. And like I said, you're facing their 3 best, and you got a chance to come in tomorrow and sweep this team. Which is pretty impressive. You had Mize yesterday, Skubal tonight. Tomorrow it's Valdez against Elder. Well-deserved bath post-game there for Matt Olson. Sleep quick, Pop. Baby Blues tomorrow. Baby Blues tomorrow as the Braves go for the sweep against the Detroit Tigers. Stay tuned. Nick and Pete are going to have some fun breaking it all down to the post-game show. On our side, we are done. We'll talk to you tomorrow. For our entire crew, for Wiley Ballard, for Jeff Francoeur, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off and saying so long, everybody.